Guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Warzone Weekly. Myself and Mortem that way, and everything you need to know for your week of Warzone playing. So first off, playlists for the week. As you can see below us there, you have for Caldera, you have duos, trios, and it says quads. But if we just go down, they did update it saying that it's not regular quads; it's Iron Trials quads only. So you've got duos and trios. If you want to play solos, you've got to be playing Champions of Caldera, which I think, am I right in saying that's the one that has the constantly moving circle and the better ground loot?
Yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Iron Trials for quads, which is your only one there. And then Plunder. If you're a Plunder player, some people are, but I don't think it's too many. Fortune's Keep, solos and trios. Trios is in because of the CDL tournament, which we'll be covering in just a second. And then you've got Rebirth Supreme, solos, duos, trios, quads. So if you haven't seen Rebirth Supreme before, you have the countdown timer. If you're dead, is slightly longer. It says it is a little longer. It's quite a bit longer. Players have slightly increased core health of 200 health. That's base plus your plates. If you're getting elimination, then the minimap ping lasts for quite a lot longer period of time. If you're looting, opening boxes, that sort of stuff, your countdown timer ticks down faster if you have a dead teammate. And if you get a kill, your countdown timer gets a big chunk taken off, which is quite nice. But obviously, you're probably going to be in quads, and they've got harder health, etc., etc. It's going to be hard to take out another player especially if you're last man. But you are also given epic level floor loot. The lowest level of weapon floor loot is epic. They've got all fancy skins on them as well, but you're looking at stuff like XM4s and bullfrogs I see on the floor, stuff like that. So it's your quote unquote meta weaponry that they're putting on the floor with top tier attachments. It's like if you pick up an XM4, it's pretty much fully built with your axial arms, your field agent, all the rest of it. It's properly ready for you to go with. And I think I'm right in saying, I can't remember if this is correct or not, that the buy stations are slightly different as well. I think there's some slightly different purchases at the buy stations in this mode as well. But don't quote me on that. That is a question I'm going to leave up in the air.
Can't quite remember that one either. So
they have been talking about Ricochet recently. Ricochet was in effect in the Modern Warfare 2 beta that they came out with the other week. What they've come out and said is that 72% of cheaters were banned before they even played a match. That's what they're saying their stats are on that. And then they're saying the rest of the detected cheaters were banned within 5 matches. So obviously that 100% they're making up is 100% of detected cheaters. There is going to be a portion that are undetected because these people go out their way to make cheats that are undetected. And I don't think you're ever going to find all of them. But if this is working how it's saying it's working, 72% of ones that were detected were banned before they started playing the game, then that's awesome. I think they're really on their way forward with that, really making good progress, which is what we're hoping for, considering we want Warzone 2 to go off quickly and well, not like the other Christmas when Verdansk was just... We were coming up against 2 or 3 cheaters in a game at some points.
Yeah. The only people killing the cheaters were other cheaters, and it was every lobby basically. It got to a really bad point at times.
The old Iron Sight Car 98 that was just quick scope headshots from 200 meters. It was not ideal. And then last but not least, the CDL Fortunes Keep tournament that's coming up. I'm very excited about this. World Tours of Warzone was awesome to watch. Really, really fun. And I'm a big fan of Fortune's Keep now, as I know you are. And so to have a Fortune's Keep CDL funded tournament, $100,000 on Fortune's Keep is going to be really exciting. And the teams as well. The teams are looking absolutely stacked.
They are very, very stacked. I'm quite excited to see. I don't really think we've seen like any Fortune's Keep like real quality top tier players on Fortune's Keep playing against each other. So
No,
I'm
there's
quite
been
excited to
no
see.
proper tournaments on there yet at all.
Yeah, I'm quite excited to see the meta, the places they like to go, what guns they like to use, and yeah, and just like the best players in the world going off against each other. It's going to be pretty exciting. I'm quite happy. Can't wait, really.
And it really is the best players in the world.
Yeah.
I think there's a quarterfinal maybe this weekend. And then for like the qualifying teams.
Mm-hmm.
I think the final. I think I'm right in saying the final is roughly the 18th to the 20th, something like that.
I think so, yeah.
But you've got big players like Breadman, Joe Woe, Super Evan, Aiden, Zlanger, tons, absolutely tons. Like there's quite a lot, right? There's a lot of teams.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of CDL back teams where like the content creators that are signed to those teams anyway, like Aiden's a New York Subliner streamer, like he's on that team. So there's a lot of CDL presence in terms of teams, or they've just drafted people in.
Yeah.
And then there's like 4 invitee teams that have all been brought in as well. I personally am quite excited to see the Las Vegas Legion team, which is Mayapo, Skullface, Hisoka, who are the guys who won the trios Caldera in a World Series of Warzone.
They were
and
so
they
good.
Put
So
on a
good.
clinic against
Yeah.
really, really top tier players. And they were a qualifying team as well, remember? They came through the qualifiers and had to grind it out. No one had really heard of these guys. Like, you know, you casual viewers never really heard of these guys. And they came in and tore it up, and they deserve to be back. And I hope that they do well again. I'd like to see them maybe go back to back or something. That'd be cool.
But, mate, they were so good. The way they used the map, their rotations and the way they moved was phenomenal. Like, don't get me wrong, there were great gun skill players, but there's everyone in that tournament's a great gun skill player. But the way they moved around the map was something else. They were so good.
Yeah, and I think they all had their roles. They stuck to them. Their team synergy and chemistry was brilliant.
Yeah.
And the comms were exceptional. So they trusted each other, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
I think it was a good example of how to play as a trio, really, just in general.
Yeah, I think so. You've obviously got. I'm a big fan of Zlanger. Zlanger's playing with Destroy and who's the third?
Oakley Boy.
That
Not
yes.
Familiar with him personally?
Like all three of them, absolutely dominant. Z and Destroy play a lot of duos together, and yeah, they absolutely shred up. I know. So that they have done it on LAN, like they've done it in big tournaments. At the Winter LAN event they had last year, World Series of Warzone, they did struggle a little bit at points. They really started heavy. But I think they sort of come a bit unstuck at the end sometimes, which happens in every game of Warzone every now and again. When you're playing against the best players, it happens more often than not.
Yeah.
And then you've got guys like Super Evan, and you've always got to expect his team to do well.
I mean, their team, Biff will Repulize, I think you say it, and Super Evan, ridiculous team.
You've got to be expecting those guys to do well, have to, because they are just so good.
And Evan really turned up in World Series of Warzone. Like at times he was by himself, last man standing, and he almost pulled off that 1v3. I think it was I can't remember who it was against, but he nearly. I think it was Shaded's team. I think Shaded stepping that. And I think he nearly pulled out a 1v3 with just a PPSH and not much else really.
Yeah,
crazy talented player.
The guys, like everyone in there, is so good. Like everyone in that tournament.
Yeah.
And I am very much looking forward to it. But that's all of your Warzone news for this week. As always, hit all the buttons down below. All of them. Just don't matter which ones you hit. Just start mashing them. And drop a sub, drop a like, and have some fun. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week for your next weekly update. Cheers.
Bye bye.